Hey guys, welcome back. So we just got back from Tennessee. I'm gonna give you a quick tour because we are gonna do a lot this week, and I want you to see what it looked like after a week of us not doing anything because we weren't here. We were in Tennessee, and how massive it freaking looks. So let me turn you around and get you started. Alright, so I'm putting this in between because how can we forget about this beauty? Check it out, all the beans, all the growing is doing. Oh my goodness. What? This is all growing in beautifully. These are my carrots. Some of the spots are still, oh look, basil finally. Got a basil plant. Some of this stuff finally is not completely going through. What's making me mad is that my beans are climbing up through. I wanted to go around this thing, and it's like attaching itself to like my sage plant. Oh my gosh, check it out. So the kale is doing great. Definitely need to come and cut some of this lettuce out. I think it flowered. So this was a mixture of lettuce. The spinach is trying, but don't forget around this time spinach does bad, so I might peel these out this afternoon. The lettuce look like it's about to bolt, so I am gonna cut some of this lettuce out, give it to Campbell for dinner. But check it out. And my tomato down here is actually growing. Celery is not growing. The beans obviously is doing great. The pepperoncini, nothing. But the beans are actually doing pretty good. So I need to come and harvest these before it gets really bad. So even the marigold. And more onions. Alright, so here's the berries. My tomatoes are growing from my winter sowing. Oh, look, I get to have me some honeysuckle. I hope I get a lot. It did rain the whole time, well not the whole time we were gone, but it did rain. The garlic looks awesome. I am very upset because there's something that is crawling through here or coming through, walking through, and is killing my freaking garlic. So my husband and I are gonna work this afternoon on the garden to try to block this side over here. My guess is it's supposed to be probably the raccoon that comes to eat, not the garden, but it likes the garbage. It's very disappointing actually. So my pepperoncini looks great. That one, 3 of those died. So according to certain people on YouTube, because that's how I learn everything, is you're supposed to cut this top piece because all your other leaves came in, and it's supposed to make it bushier. But I'm not sure if that works for pepperoncini, or is it for regular peppers. So my pepperoncinis are growing great, and that makes me very happy because I love pepperoncinis. These are just sweet peppers. Plants are really still small. Sweet peppers, flowers, but nothing growing there. These are all popping. And the beans, check out the beans. I'm so happy, except one is being eaten. Not sure by what, but that makes me very happy. Don't forget we sowed a lot of beans in here. Same thing as this one. Check it out. Not sure what beans are growing because we mixed it up. Same with this one. So tonight we're gonna have to put probably trellises on this one and this one. Check out the onion scapes regrowing. The asparagus still going strong. Sweet potato with the onions we put regrowing. For the strawberries, I still have the same amount is what it looked like. Nothing new. My beet flowered, so I'm gonna have to just throw that out. And let me tell you, for a couple of days, check out the tomato plant. Oh my gosh, this makes me so excited, people. I'm just looking for armpits that I can remove. Might have to stop this video. I see a cop in my house. Here's an armpit. The onions are growing inside of in between the tomatoes. Here's an armpit. Here's an armpit. Anybody else an armpit? I think you're an armpit. You're a pretty big armpit. Armpit. Alright, so because I wasn't here, a lot of armpits did grow out, so these are gonna, some of these might be bushy for my liking, because I was not able to pull them out because I was not here. Technically, you should be looking at this daily. See, this is an armpit. Making me upset. This is an armpit. So I was able to grab that one because this is the main stem right here, I think. I hope. I'm trying to put this armpit here and see if it grows. Here's more. These look great. Let's remove the armpits because we don't want armpits. The cop is in front of my house and I'm hoping he's not here for me. Here's an armpit. Let's take this out. Armpit. So some of these are already growing fruit. The potatoes are doing great. They're flowering, so pretty soon they'll die out. Not this one, but these and those. So they should die out. My sweet potato came back to life. Check out the corn. Yes. The corn worked, people. The corn worked. This is nothing. Shouldn't be there. Oh, the leeks are doing great. Powerful than ever. That makes me very happy. The hot peppers are doing great. This one died out, but it's okay because I have more plants growing. So I'm okay with that. This was dying out, now it's growing back. This we knew it was flowering, so I hear these are seeds, so maybe I'll just let it be. This one looks pretty good. The sweet potato with the onions over here looks perfect. Sweet potato with the onions in here looks perfect, but my kale flowered, so that's okay. I'm gonna let it be. I'll make sure I'll take these. We don't eat a lot of kale, we use it more in our smoothies. So I've been putting them in the bag. Oh, look at my cabbage is forming. I just hope they're not killing my sweet potato and my onions, because it's a little bit crowded in here. I'm hoping I can take out some of these leaves. We have to cut that out. Back over here. Okay, according to the app, this is some kind of pumpkin, which I never grew. So I don't know. I'm gonna let it be, see what happens. Growing out perfect. Check out my acorn squash. It doubled, people. It doubled. Oh my goodness. It doubled. This makes me so happy. Except it's not going in the right direction that it's supposed to be going. Don't forget, you're supposed to guide it. So is this one supposed to go this way? We're supposed to guide it to go in the right direction. So I'm hoping, I was not here to guide this one, but apparently, there we go. Oh my goodness, it looks freaking awesome. Check out the onions after I chopped them up. They came back. I might take some of these because I want to fill out the container with the onion scapes. So I will be cutting these down one more time. So here is the onion. Same thing here. I will be taking the onion scapes out of these to make sure I get to fill out my container full of onion scapes. These are garlic, but I did get some new onions that is growing. The garlic up here is doing great as well, even though no one was here to water it. And so was this one. Alright guys, so everything looks great. Tonight we're gonna end up trying to cover that spot that's messing up my garlic. Makes me very upset. We're gonna try to cover it. Hopefully the garlic will regrow up. Besides that, I don't see like I have anything else to do. I don't have big enough tomatoes to put in the container. Maybe we'll do that also. So we'll see how it goes tonight. But here's the view, the before. We will show you on later on tonight the aftermath. Alright guys, so we blocked that section over there. And we fertilized everything with the Dr. what? Gems?
Dr. Gems.
Hopefully that worked. If not, we're going to try Dr. Earth to see if any of all my garlic come back. Hopefully if they don't step on it, it should come back. And I poured, it's a liquid, so I poured everything in there. In the green stalk, I did a little spray on everything else. So everything should be good, but the Dr. Gems, if you don't know what it is, you use half of the gallon in a 5-gallon container. So here it is. And then you put worm castings, the half a gallon, and then the rest is supposed to be water. So we shall see if that actually worked for anything. So that's it for today. I'm going to water tomorrow. I won't post this video till next week, just in case anything else pops up. I'm going to see if the blocking really does work. And I hope my garlic come back, because that was at least 15 cloves that they messed up right there. So I'm hoping it comes back. But that's it for today. Have a good night. Bye. Alright guys, welcome back. Good morning. So as you saw me water everything. Yesterday we fertilized. Last night we blocked this area. Hopefully, as you can see, we try to block it. But we won't be able to tell because obviously all the garlic is already down for the count. I'm hoping I fertilized, and I am hoping that they get strong again since nothing is passing by. We fertilized and now I watered. So besides that, I don't want to show you anything else. I think everything else is the same. Nothing has changed. My tomatoes are getting pretty big, actually, and getting a lot of suckers, which I totally forgot about taking out suckers. So I will be having bushy tomatoes this year probably, unless I start catching it on time. But besides that, I do have actually more tomatoes and more peppers, and I need to put them in containers. So I'm not doing that today. I might do that tonight, this afternoon, when the sun goes down. Not too late, because yesterday when we did the fertilization part of it and when we were blocking that piece, I got bitten by mosquitoes. Oh, and my camera is back. It got fixed. Yay, you're on the camera. So besides that, I will bring you back tonight if I end up replanting any more tomatoes or peppers, because these peppers are really small. These are hot peppers, and I want to say some of the tomato is small too, but I think it's because it's still in the container. It's still in the winter container, you see. But these are supposed to be big tomatoes, and that's what I want. So I'm gonna transplant whatever is big from those. And I think I got 2 Roma tomatoes, and I definitely want those. So maybe I'll put 2 per pot or 2 per container so they can get the strength they need. And I will do that tonight. So we'll see you back tonight. Alright guys, so I harvested a bag of kale, a bag of lettuce. Saw me retransplant tomatoes and sweet peppers. Now my green stalk look a little empty, on like 4 little green beans or snap peas. I got 4 little snap peas. That's it. So that's it for today. I will be checking in on the garden all week, but I'm not going to record it. I will only bring the camera only if anything changes, but as of right now, if nothing changes, I'm not going to record it because it's useless. I'm hoping my garlic comes back up. I didn't see any new disturbance, so that's good. So I will check you guys out another day. Bye. Hey guys, welcome back. It's the next day, and today I want to open up all the winter sowing so it can get some sun. So let's get started. Alright guys, so I opened everything up. Check it out. The ones that didn't have any dirt, put them in the corner. But I have ajíes dulces, which is a Spanish pepper, sweet pepper. So I am gonna put these in 2 containers. This was supposed to be all green cabbage, and it looks like it was eaten by slugs. So I'm just gonna let it be with the containers closed. That looked like it's beets. They're still growing. So now that I opened the container, maybe it'll do a little bit better. And then these, apparently this was dwarf marigold, but nothing obviously is in it. This, I don't remember what it is, but there's nothing in it. I would have to look at the numbers in the book inside. This is just my pineapple. I gotta open it up. And this is nothing. I gotta throw this away. But that's it. So I am going to plant those 2 peppers, and I'm gonna water that apple tree. It looks a little dead. Okay, I'm not sure if I was recording. Now Campbell's getting closer. I decided not to close out this video. I decided to reseed some stuff. Let's wait for Campbell to leave. Okay, I think he's gone far enough. Alright, so from the empty spots on the top, I put all carrots. So I put 3 rainbow carrots and 3 of the original carrots. And then in between that, I've been taking out stuff like the radish. There was some other stuff that I was growing in there that I actually harvested. So those, I flipped the tag so I can know that it's empty, that there's nothing in there. Because I still have some like rosemary that still hasn't grown in, cilantro that still hasn't grown in. So those, I still want to give it time to see if it actually grows. So the ones that are empty, I put the oregano and I put the cilantro, because these are the things that I want more of, so I can harvest and dehydrate or can. So whatever I've been emptying out, I've been planting stuff that I need. Now in between that, I'm going to take the advantage, because it is still early, and I'm going to put some of the winter sowing that is actually nothing growing in it. I don't think nothing is going to grow from it. If it does, I guess I'll have the seeds together, but I don't think so, because the winter sowing, actually when you close it up, it actually is warm enough for it to start growing. So I want to say out of all the containers I did, at least 75% did end up growing. I either took too long to take them out and they, you know, sort of died in there, or bugs, as you saw from the cabbage, they've been eating the plant. So I am gonna use actually 2 of the empty, no, I'm gonna use all 4 empty containers that have dirt in it, and I'm gonna put beets in there. So I'm gonna do 2 with beets, because I have no beets anywhere except for that one that looks like it's growing, and I'm not sure if it's done or not. And then I do want to put more of the oregano and the cilantro. So I'm gonna sow 1 of them with cilantro and 1 of them with oregano, and 2 with the beets. So we use the beets. I haven't eaten it roasted or any of that stuff, but I did put it in the juice. So as I grow more, I'll see what I can do to see what I like with it. So let me do the planting on the winter sowing buckets. I'll be back. Alright guys, now I gotta wet every seed that I planted. I did put sunflower. I've been planting sunflowers every year and I'm never successful. So I did do a couple of seeds in a few containers to see if they grow. I did put a few between like the leeks and stuff, and nothing never came out. So but I'm gonna water. That's it for today. As the sun comes down here in Connecticut, mosquitoes are horrible and they'll start eating you up. So I need to hurry up and get inside. Bye guys. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is Saturday, so we are doing yard work. We're going into the garden and here is the plan. We're trellising the tomatoes, stringing the beans, mulch potatoes, plant tomatoes, and plant more peppers. So that's the plan. I sprayed myself and got my headphone in with my music, and hopefully I did spray myself. Look, I'm shiny because I don't want no mosquito bites, but hopefully, here you go, now you can see me. Hopefully I get to finish the whole entire list today. I'm trying to get as many tomatoes we can get outside, and everything is starting to look good. And I need to put fish fertilizer on my onions because they look a little small, so I'm going to do that today as well. So let's get started. Alright guys, we're in the basement. I need to clean this place up, but I do have fish fertilizer, so I'm going to do that first and put that in all of my onions. So dark down here. So let's get started. Alright guys, so I just finished fertilizing. I'm sorry, I probably look crazy, leaning down. So I just finished fertilizing the garlic with the fish fertilizer. I'm out of breath. The onions, the leeks, all the way to the front. Obviously you saw me walking back there. Now I'm going to trellis my beans, and I'm gonna try to stick up the tomatoes. It's very windy today. I'm very surprised, but I take wind over heat anytime. So let's get started on making our little mini trellis for our beans. Alright guys, so not sure if you were able to see, but here's a little explanation. I did put this new nylon, I don't know what it is, but I know it's it will compost throughout the years, and that's what I really wanted. And I brought a couple of packs of these. So for the beans last year I had this metal sort of trellis, but I'm leaving that for my pumpkin. And I did this one just with 2 sticks. I forgot about that one. So I need to do that one next. And then with the tomatoes, what I ended up doing, don't forget, some of my tomatoes are doubled up. So like this one is single, but even though it is single, I just put the 1 stick on the spot where I saw it was leaning towards. And check it out, the ones we took out, the suckers we took out are doing great. So those will end up growing up to being full tomatoes. The same thing with this one. So the double, I want to show you one of my doubles. So the double, all I did was use 1 stick in the middle, and then I put the string. Hi! Alright, so here's the double up one. So even if it pulls, it holds it. So that's what I want to do. So I've been doing that here. I gotta do this one, so I'm gonna bring you up close so you guys can see what I do. Alright guys, so you saw that, how I tied it in the middle here with the 1 stick. Look, the onions is totally transplanting with our tomatoes. So now what I do is I end up trimming anything that's touching the bucket because I don't want it to get damaged. And I trim anything that is touching the next plant. So you see there's nothing there, and there's nothing on this side, so it doesn't touch this plant. Now here, obviously, I missed a sucker on this one, which it was this, and I'm just gonna leave it for now. So I've been heavily trimming these to not touch the containers, and I've been trimming them so they don't touch each other, right? So today I gotta water no matter what time I finish here, even if it's a little bit, because if not they'll get into stress, right? So I definitely need to do that. Now I'm gonna transplant more tomatoes and more peppers. Oh, and I forgot the other trellis. So enjoy the speed up video, because if not, this video is gonna be long. We've been doing a lot this week with our garden, so I hope you enjoy the long video. Okay guys, whew, me tired, but as you guys saw, I put more of the biodegradable, no chemical blend of, you know, grass and straw and all that stuff, mulch. Whew. And I've been putting them in the container of potatoes. Now I do have to say, this one right here does not feel that heavy. These two got a little weight to it compared to this one, but this one does have flowers in it, so this one might be almost done, and so does that one. And then the other two, they don't feel that heavy. So I did put a big potato in here with dirt. It started growing, and I did put another layer of dirt, and I just layered a little bit of the mulch. I think I'm gonna do both for this big one. This thing itches. Maybe one layer of dirt, one layer of mulch, that kind of deal, to see how it works. Don't forget, this is my first time doing this with my potatoes. I usually put them in dirt, and this is the first time I've done the mulch thing. I do have to say though, this way is more expensive, because one of these bags is $22 here in Connecticut. And I do want to say this is my second bag. Versus dirt, I always had dirt full on these containers. So I don't know. We'll see when we harvest it. I think when we harvest it, I'll see whether or not I get more potatoes, less potatoes, better potatoes. The only thing I can think of, it'll be cleaner potatoes versus dirty potatoes. So we'll see when we harvest them, right? So now I'm gonna go inside, because I do have more potatoes that I want to grow, but I don't think they have the little stuff, the little plant coming out of them yet. So I can test out the theory of the difference between the two. So let me go do that. I'm gonna put this shredding stuff away. The other thing is that is a dirty job. Like, it's everywhere. Granted, it's compost. It is gonna turn into dirt, and it's not harmful to birds because it's natural. So I'm okay with that. But if you think about it, for $22, bro, that's a lot of stuff there that could be going inside my containers. I'm just saying. So far, I don't like the fact that it's a waste of money. And you know me, I'm always on a budget. And I don't like the fact that some of it is going to waste. So let me go get the potatoes, and I'll be right back. And I gotta change my battery. Okay, so I got two that actually have buds on it, and they're purple potatoes. And then I have two that have no buds, but they're white potatoes. So I'm gonna empty out half of this bag, see how it's full, up to about this much of dirt. Make sure they get covered to see if I get more studs. I am gonna leave these studs out. I'm gonna cover it up to where I can see the studs, so I can see that these don't have studs, or plant start, whatever you call it. As you can see, I am new at this. I don't even know what's that called. OM. So let's do that now, and let me get rid of some of this dirt. Okay, dummy me. I think I forgot to hit record. So here's the 2 purple ones. And then I put 1 yellow here. So I'm gonna let it peek out a little bit so we can remember that we have the 2 little white ones right there. Hopefully they'll sprout. Oh, that's what it's called. Sprout. Newbie here, newbie. So we'll see if they sprout. And then the purple ones, at least they're already sprouting. So at least I know I'll get purple ones. So right now I'm gonna leave it like this. When I see them sprouting a little bit more, then we put another layer of dirt, like about, you know, hay-high. Can you see that? There you go, about hay-high. And then I'll put 1 little small layer of the mulch. Let's go on to the next, shall we? Alright guys, we did a lot today. It's 2:30. We took a break, went for lunch, but ta-da! We're done. So let's do this garden tour. Alright, starting first with the green stalk. Everything is blooming except for the new seeds that we put in there. The kale is still going strong. The green beans is still going strong, or the snap peas. I do have some there that I can snap out. I'm gonna wait a little bit though. And obviously some of these we replanted or re-sowed some stuff. I don't remember what, but I know we re-sowed, and we sowed carrots up here, but that was recent this week, earlier this week. So obviously you can't see, but the marigolds are coming out. A lot of stuff is starting to bloom more, like the sage. So I think this is great. The green stock is doing great. These onions are actually doing awesome compared to the front ones, but obviously no potato there yet. We cleaned out some of the winter sowing. We are cleaning up the winter sowing. Most of it was either dried out or emptied, or I replanted. So I get to toss them to the curb. We still have some tomatoes, more tomatoes. I replanted cilantro, oregano this week. You guys saw the video. Beets on here. We opened everything up. Actually, now that I'm looking at this, I probably should plant some of these tomatoes. They're very tall. Except I don't remember what tomatoes are these. Are they cherry or are they regular? Alright, I'm going to pause this video real quick and I'm going to go transplant those. Alright, transplanted the biggest one from the tomatoes. I'll show you where I transplanted them. In here are my raspberry. Check it out, I got 1 raspberry right here. Bug. Check out my raspberry. Yes, I got 1 raspberry. And since we do this organic gardening, I gotta say, it was sweet, not as bitter as the ones you find in the store. That was great. Okay, back to the tour. My lemon tree. This hasn't grown anything. This is the this is another berry, another berry, another berry. Oh, I'm covering you. Sorry. Berry trees. That was the lemon that died that we ended up transplanting a couple of seeds in there of lemon. As you can still see, it is infested with those freaking ants. I'm about to spray it. This is flowers, and we put a sunflower seed, more berries, and this one is the lemon orange lime tree. So far so good. Hasn't died, so I guess that's a good thing. Now to the left, to the left, to the left. Here is the garlic. Now obviously from here to here, the garlic is beautiful, is blooming. And then from here this way, obviously we know what happened, right? But we do have, which is kind of weird, some other new seedlings popping up. And I don't remember. Oh no, I think I did put it when I did this section. So we do still have garlic growing. Not bad. So going towards the right, these are all flowers, flowers, flowers. This is just a hot mess. No sir. Then we have sweet peppers. So what I ended up doing from these strawberry towers, which half of them are, most of them are not growing in, right? So from that tower this way is all about the sweet peppers. And then what's gonna happen is from these tower that way is tomatoes and everything else. So all of the containers are full of sweet peppers, pepperoncinis. There's yellow peppers, sweet yellow peppers. There's orange yellow pepper, orange peppers, sweet peppers, blah 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 blah. Spanglish people, Spanglish. There's an orange color one. So because they're all sweet, I don't care which one it is. I'm glad I got pepperoncini though, because I use that a lot for cooking. And then more sweet peppers here. And then we only have one container left without any sweet peppers. Now what I can do is I can either put the seeds directly and see how it goes, or actually no, I think what I'm gonna do is I'll probably put a couple of seeds in here, because I know I'm not gonna transplant anything else of sweet pepper, and then once they start growing I can attach them to a separate one. Now I'm trying to do two plants per container, and I'm not sure how that's gonna work out. As you can see, some of them do have 4 in it, but I don't know how big they actually gonna get. So once they get a little bit bigger where they're strong enough, I'll end up transplanting them to 2 to container instead of obviously the 1, because I need the space. Don't forget, we're trying to maximize our garden this year. Now here is the trellis I did with the string for the beans, so now they should start climbing up. I had a difficulty with these because the container is smaller than the big black container, and the sticks will not stay still. So after I did this one and struggled, once I ended up going here, what happened was I ended up tightening the string a little bit more, and obviously it put the stick together, so I left it alone just to try it out. Now these are the almond trees, which we were sewing together with onions. The onions look great. The almond tree, I don't think it's completely dried, but nothing has happened yet. I think you need about 2 years before anything will see any growth, right? So this is like our first year with it. Ooh, dropped my thing. It's our first year with it, so we're still waiting. The asparagus is doing great. I had probably a squirrel who ended up digging in that one, so I had to end up putting more dirt in this one. Hopefully it didn't kill my asparagus, and they're growing fine. I mean, I'm getting more asparagus than I had before. Here is the sweet potato slips with some onion in there, and then from here forward is all tomatoes, and I transplanted some onions in between. So as you can see, I have onions, I have sweet potatoes, onions and the tomatoes. These were suckers that I plucked out and put there to see if it actually grows. Here's the onions, same as here. I got onions and tree and grass growing in here too. So some of these actually was 2 flowers in one. And from my understanding from Roots and Refuge, because you know I get my information from other YouTubers. So Roots and Refuge, she says that whenever you see the 2 flowers stuck together, you're gonna get like this big bulky tomato. So you can either leave it and let the big bulky tomato grow, or you can just pluck it out if you want beautiful tomatoes. So I'm plucking them out because I don't want no big ugly tomato. I want a nice plumpy tomato. So I've been having a few of these and I've been taking them out. You're probably wondering, what am I doing? This turns into compost, so I'm waiting for it to dry out. Here's another one that the flower got stuck together, you see. And when they dry out, what I'm gonna do is I will be putting it in my compost, but I put it on the ground so it can, you know, dry out. Here's another one. So my tomatoes took a pretty good hit because I like to trim them. If you guys so from the clip, you guys saw that I like to trim anything that's on this side touching this plant on this side. So I trim all of the side out that has nothing to do with tomatoes, obviously the stem, the long stems. And so I had to water them because they do take a good hit, and you know, you're sort of killing them, so you don't want them to die, so you got to give them water. I forgot to show you so this tower has multi-purpose stuff, which it was the marigold, which is beautiful. My radishes actually flowered, so I'm letting it be. I want to see what seeds look like for radishes. I think this is parsley. I would have to go back and look. This is thyme. Yeah, I think this is thyme. And it's doing great. The good thing about this little tower thing is that I can bring it inside the house once we're done. You know, look at this parsley. This parsley is flowering, so I definitely want to take it out because I don't want it to flower. See, it was flowering. Here is more of the, I think these are radishes. And then here's another parsley that's flowering. Then this is supposed to be a strawberry that didn't grow. These are supposed to all have strawberries. None of it grew. And I only have 1, 2, 3, 4 strawberries that grew on this little tower. So maybe they'll come up next year. I don't know. Then besides all the tomatoes, I have my potatoes. You guys saw me putting the mulch in here for the potatoes. I have to say, when I pick it up, it is a little heavy. This is heavy a little bit, not a lot. These are heavier than what they were when we first started. So let me go back. So out of these 3, this one is not that heavy. I can actually pick it up one-handed, and then these are a little bit heavier, so obviously I can pick it up, but I feel the weight that is heavier, and so is this one. But these are supposed to be almost done. As you can see, they're flowering, so I believe this will be my first container that we will harvest because they're already flowering. I did put 2 tomato plants per container. As you saw, some of them have more than 2 because they were babies, and I'm trying to get them to get some, you know, some strength so I can transplant them somewhere else. See, this one has 4 and it has 2 good big ones. So this one has 2. I do keep the minimum of 2 per container. This was a big potato and I did about this much of dirt. I let the flower come up, or the root come up. Then I put another layer about this much of dirt, and then I put just one handful of this thing in there. Then tomatoes, tomato. Obviously this is corn. This is very exciting actually, because this was seed from the corn we grew last year. So if you go back to last year and see our harvest last year, we did harvest corn. They were very small, very dimps, very tiny. So we didn't eat any of it. So I don't know how it tasted, but we dried it out and made, obviously, to see if we can replant it. So it works. I think I'm gonna come in here and probably put a couple more, because don't forget it needs to be in a block motion for the corn to work. So I need a couple of more seeds in there. Here is the sweet potato with some onion in a container, trying it out. I brought these, I don't know, what are these called? These are the twist tomato, and I don't like it, but I brought them. There's nothing I can do about it. So I put it here for the sweet potato to try to grab and do its thing. I put one over there with the tomato. Technically you're supposed to wrap the tomato around it, but I don't know. Maybe I'll switch this green one and put the red one, because that's a single plant there. Maybe it works with single plants. I don't know. Here's my honeysuckle. I had to move it away from the other ones because it was covering the rest of them. So I moved, as you saw from the video, I did move all of the white containers, left a few over there, brought the honeysuckle over here, and I put the hazelnut and a few of the blackberries over there. Here is more onions, and I put the cage for the sweet potato to start grabbing. So I need to come here every day, make sure that my sweet potato is grabbing to the cage. And then this one, I got sweet potato in here too, but I also have onion and I also have kale. So once this doesn't grow no more and it stops giving me kale, this one bolted, so I'm just letting it bring, you know, honeybees over here. But eventually I'll pull it out. I want the sweet potato to grab into this, and I want this one to grab into this. So this is a the same one as that one, but you can make it flat. So that's what I did here. I see bugs in my cabbage. This cabbage is doing great. I have a few onions in there, so I needed my onions to get some sun and the sweet potato, so I did trim my cabbage. I hope it still survives. And then I transplanted the other two because it was very crowded in there. So I transplanted one here, and I transplanted the other one there. So now we can start back over here. And on this side, I have my leeks. Now the leeks are starting to do its thing. I have the snap pea here also. I don't know why I put a snap pea. And here's the leeks. The leeks are doing great. Now I can't really tell if these leeks are the seeds, or I want to say it's both, because I did put the leeks around where there was a space from the ones that I planted with the seed. Where did you leave them?
Where I left them, I found them.
You didn't leave them down there somewhere? And I think that's a sunflower back there. Except it's not getting any sun. Nothing on the ginger. Here's the green stalk again. These are doing great. Oh, and I have a row of onions, don't forget, because I did transplant that last bag I had of onions, and they're doing great. Look, my hot peppers are doing great. They're tiny still. Some of the leeks are growing from the top. I did trim down all the hostas that are all the way across from here. because of the simple fact that I want more growing space. So maybe that hot pepper will start booming soon because now it has sun to be able to come through. So I did trim them all. It won't kill the plant because technically there's a YouTube channel out there that actually eats the hostas. I'm not gonna try that, but they saute them like spinach. But
I found it.
okay, but you can trim them back. They'll come back next year. So I did trim all of them, and then here they're growing. The hot peppers growing great. Some of them, the leeks in the back growing great. The onions that I put in the front are growing great. This one I needed to trim a little bit more, I guess, and I didn't, but I'll do that another day because me tired. Maybe that one will come back because now it has space for heat and sunshine. And then I retransplanted more hot. These were there, so I transplanted this hot pepper, that hot pepper. Obviously I watered it so I can get some life. There was a hosta here, and this is a very tight space, so I trimmed the whole thing. Leaves will continue to come up as you trim it, so it's got to be like a daily thing or a weekly thing at least. I'm a little concerned about this pumpkin plant that I put here. I don't remember putting a pumpkin plant. I want to say I thought I put a sunflower seed because now it's taking over this bed. So yeah, I'm a little concerned, even though I'm excited that the pumpkin is actually starting to grow. So obviously I replanted the cabbage. I put more hot peppers here. That's the onions from the onion bulbs that I have or had. Here's another hosta that I trimmed. This is the acorn squash, and the acorn squash is doing great. So here's the trellis that I have it in. I have a few flowers, so I'm hoping I get some acorn squash. I did trim that one as well. And this one, I haven't seen any flower, but it's doing pretty good. The other one seems like it's not doing too good because it's being shaded by this bigger one. But this makes me excited. Oh, I put another hot pepper there. And then while cleaning out my winter sowing, I did find onions. So some of the onion seed must have dropped inside the container with the hot peppers and all this other stuff. So I just retransplanted with the onions so I don't get confused. Never had acorn squash before, but I'm hoping to roast it and try it and do a soup with it. I got a couple of recipes already. Here's the onions. They look great. And here's the other onions. Look, that's one of the onions I found in my winter sowing. So I replanted there. These are doing good. Don't forget, these are the bulbs, I believe. And then from here this way is the slips. So I feel like the slips that I brought online from, I don't remember where, actually seem to be doing better than the bulbs, which is kind of creepy, but I'm not too sure because obviously I'm not a professional. My garlic is starting to lean, but I think it's because it's trying to go towards the sun, right? And then I think, if I'm not mistaken, I only have one more leaf left. So from all the YouTubers out there that I watch and learn from, you're supposed to count the dried leaves on your garlic, and the time to harvest is when you have 3. So right now I got 1, 2, 3. So once these dry out completely, I could probably harvest these. I mean, they're starting to look a little flimsy. They're starting to yellow. so I think they're almost ready. Same here. See, this one got 1, 2, 3. So when these 3 die out, then it's time to harvest. I can't wait to harvest this one. This is going to be very interesting on how the clove looks. And I believe that these always, they're turning sideways because I think they're trying to grab the sun, right? Because the wall is right here, so the sun comes this way. And then it goes over, and the only time it grabs sun is when it comes over to the other side. So we'll see, I guess. Time is almost there. And then the onions, I believe it's the same rule. So every leaf that is here dried out technically is a layer covering your onions. So nice. All right guys, so that was the garden tour. The sun went down and it's a little more windy, but this is a long video. I'm done for today. Not sure what I'm going to do the rest of the week, but God bless. Thank you for watching. Give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will check you guys out next time.